thief for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me breaking your sweat. You're falling into me, touch me. I swear you'll do anything that I want, so keep us awake till the dawn. Ooh, baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger.
We did it again! Every time it's
Hello!
surprising when we accomplish it.
When we show up, when we're both here, it feels
When
good.
we're here with our full selves.
I am here with my full self. So before we get started,
Before you even do anything, we need to say the things. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Your Favorite Ants, the greatest podcast on the internet.
on the internet.
I am Cheryl Crow.
And I am Bonnie Ray.
Bonnie Raitt with a T?
Right. Yes.
It's okay. I'm here for you.
I meant Bonnie Ray.
Yeah.
It's
And
so
together we
good.
make up Your Favorite Ants, and we're happy to be back
Yes.
with you.
Yes, we
Most
are.
I'm happy to be back with you, Sarah.
Oh, I'm happy to be back with you. Sorry that we're an hour early, but I have another wedding to officiate.
Listen, for somebody who stepped out of the ministry, LOL, baby, LOL.
Mm-hmm.
And we sip.
And we sip. I am so excited. One of my things that I want to say is that I love that you use your creative license to on the show in a way that makes me so happy. And thank you for loving my necklace. So Kevin makes me a better person, and I trust Kevin's
Okay.
Kevin's vision for things. And I also get to giggle along with the rest of you, like last week's episode being entitled "The One Where Sarah Yells at the Singer."
If you missed last week's episode, please go back in your feed and listen to it. It's on all the streams. It's also live on the YouTube channel if you're watching it here on YouTube. Sarah really took that motherfucker to task, and I'm just like, that's the energy I want personally.
Yeah, it came up and I could not stop giggling. And then today, your screensaver that you made for our show coming up, because I finally figured out how on Instagram to link it to either your YouTube or my YouTube. It says bleep bloop, I am Pokemon. Let's bone.
Yep.
Valentine's Day.
It was like I saw that on Valentine's. I'm just like, that's so cute. Like that's what I want.
Oh, I could not stop laughing.
I'm gonna bring the chat up. So if you're here hanging out with us live, tell us how the hell you are. And I also want to highlight this, that my friend M says we are talking Sarah up over on the DRC Core Discord for that excellent dressing down. Listen, people are talking about you, Sarah.
I mean, I also made a TikTok about, and I got a lot of reaction. My TikTok is very small. I would love for you guys to come on over to TikTok. You're mostly going to see me talk about when people say really incredible things that are problematic, but also then my my whole feelings about my Airstream. That's the content. If you want Airstream content and shade content, that's where you need to go. My TikTok.
Once again, come for the shade, stay for the sermon. That's what
exactly.
We're here for.
That is exactly us. So
I think we can make a shirt with that soon, Vic. I just redid my entire merch store, and now I think I can do it.
So cool.
And I'm so happy with it. It's still printful. It's all the same thing. It's just I didn't know it had a Squarespace integration, and so pulled a couple strings, did some stuff. So yeah, if you've been looking at my stuff, go to thekevingarcia.com/merch, and everything is 25% cheaper right now. Also,
and it's just got cool models to look at. I love there's all these graphics that you created. I literally, by the way, they're cutting a tree down in my neighbor's yard, guys. Don't worry, hold tight. I couldn't stop looking at all your merch. It was so cool.
Well, thank you. I'm very happy with it.
So how the hell are you?
How the hell am I? I feel good. I feel like this week I have been a little bit in giddy land because I had a Valentine. I did. For the first, I think, no, second time. I had a Valentine like 3 years ago. And then 2 days later, we broke up. So,
Ooh, yeah.
which it was necessary. That was when I was still with my former partner, long-term partner at the time. And so it was
Oh, yeah, that's right. I kind of hadn't put two and two together that you guys broke up around Valentine's Day.
we literally I cooked a steak dinner on Valentine's Day, and then I left 2 days later. Because then it was everything just became clear. I'm just like, we can't keep doing this. This is too much for both of us, you know? Let me readjust this real quick.
So can I ask you an official question? Coupling season, does it officially end after Valentine's Day?
You mean cuffing season?
Oh, cuffing season. Why is it called cuffing season?
Because you're getting cuffed up with somebody you want to get a little close to, like somebody. But yeah. Also, Richard Brown says, "I'm doing great. It's Saturday morning here, giving me a break from the Sunday night's sermon. Also been appointed volunteer LGBT chaplain at my uni. Okay, Richard,
Okay.
that's very exciting. Thanks for sharing with that.
We are proud of
Anybody else
you.
got good news? Anyone else got good
Yeah.
news? So yeah,
Please pull up
I'll.
where Sierra said they're doing well. They're going to the first. Oh, I thought they said they were going to their first Comic-Con. Did I miss that one?
Oh, you mean I wasn't Sierra. It was this comment from
Right, here we go. Oh,
going to an
anime
anime convention.
convention.
First time going more than one day. I'm excited for you. That's very, very. Conventions are fun. Also, getting back with like regular people again, it's got to be feeling good. I also like the other thing that's got me in a good mood is I launched the new platform where the Crowded Table is going to be living over on Mighty Networks. So if you want to go check out the link in my bio or go to thecrowdedtable.mn.co, I'll put it in the comments too. But it's lit. It's really, really cool, and we're just getting started. So how the hell are you, Sarah Louisa Jane Heath?
I am doing really well. I went over to our friends Mike and Ginny last night.
Yay!
And Ginny, it was one of those things I was like, I didn't know that my body was in stress. So I shared a little bit about some health
Right.
concerns I've been having. I went and had a biopsy yesterday, which is scary. It's a scary word. It's like a scary
Oh
time.
yeah,
And then
for
I had a
sure.
rehearsal for this adorable little couple that's getting married. Totally cute LA couple. He's a producer, filmmaker. She's an actor. They're adorable. They're just tiny, tiny, adorable humans. But
Why didn't you invite me? I'm just so confused.
I know I should have. So
Mm.
there's all of that, like prepping for other people's stuff. I'm speaking at 2 events next week, including speaking
Bitch.
about embodiment, which is something that is part of my story as someone who in college had a bit of an eating disorder. Like you could have a touch of it. I had a touch of an eating disorder. I had
I
an
only had
eating
a touch of
disorder.
it.
I had disordered eating and mindset around that. And so I've worked really hard to help create spaces and churches that actually address that when they talk about, the flesh and all that sort of stuff. So I didn't realize, because sometimes I am an ultimate 3, that I was in my, like, let's call it my like conceal, don't feel zone for about the last 2 weeks, where I was just like, I'm not going to feel this. I'm not going to feel this. I'm just going to go, go, go. I've got to book some new clients. I've got all this stuff. I've got all this stuff I got to do. I got to write these 2 things. I got to paint this thing. I got to create this. I was chaotically going everywhere. And I realized the rehearsal dinner was right by my friend's house. So drove over to their house. And if you don't know Mike McCarg, who is it's just one of Kevin and I's dearest friends. Him and his wife and their kids are like
The
family
salt
to
of the
me.
earth.
Salt of the earth. They're
The
like
salt.
family to me. So I went over there and we were just doing the normal catch up stuff, and then shared with them some of the health stuff I've got going on, and then just my schedule. And Mike is someone who lives with autism. And so that means that Mike
I think the better way to say that is just Mike is autistic.
Mike is autistic. So Mike took a look at me and said, I would like to hug you right now. And so it was a very much a Goodwill Hunting moment where he stood up His wife came out of the kitchen and we just hugged and I wept for a while. And I was embarrassed and it was hard. And all of a sudden,
Did you cry?
bawled.
I knew it. It
Yeah,
wasn't just a hug. You bawled, you big
I
baby. Just kidding.
bawled. Shut up. But the thing that was great about it is there was something my body needed to release, and I didn't know that. And I had a really, I would say, a conversation where I had gaslit a friend who had gone through a lot because I wanted them to get to the like silver lining of it, because I was going through all this scary testing and stuff, and they had gone through something that was frustrating. And I was like, yeah, but all this stuff, the yeah, buts. And what I realized is I couldn't handle one more negative thing because my body was just in a bad place. And so I just
Building up.
I just feel really, really grateful today that I have the kind of friends that are like, I would like to hug you right now. And then just let me cry and let me be scared about things. And today just feels so much more hopeful, where yesterday felt heavy and full. And I just feel really great about that. So I feel super lighter today, even as I like have a lot on my plate. It just feels better that I recognized it.
I'm so proud of you. That's all
Thank
we
you.
can ever do. Excuse me, I keep burping because I have a little bit of wine in the gullet now. So like wine taste. I'm really proud of you for
Thank you.
feeling.
That's actually a great way of saying that.
No, but dead ass, like you're somebody who like, I think that you overestimate your capacity.
Yes.
Period. For a lot. And I'll say the same thing for me. I think actually as humans in late capitalism, because of patriarchy, because of all the things, we train ourselves to push ourselves past our limits all of the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It's not even, it's such a systematic sick, like we're sick.
Yes.
We've learned a sick way of being in the world, and we have to start getting well. And I'm so proud of you, because you've really been working hard these past like 6 months on yourself.
6 months of it.
I mean, like seriously, just really, really intense, just looking hard at your shit, and like you are taking control of your karma. And I mean, like, just like it just and what I mean by that is you understand that everything in your life is what you're here to do. Like it's like I don't see you scapegoating anything or anybody else anymore.
Right.
Because the mantra or the thing you'd say, just like I did this and I did this and I didn't get what I wanted, and now you're just like, I did do that, I did do that, I did do this, and I'm finally understanding how to be happy. And I'm like, fuck yeah. It's just so great.
It's one of those things too where having friends that are neuroatypical, it's so great because it's like you get to have an experience with people who, as someone who is neuroatypical, as an ADHDer and OCDer. Mike names things. So because Mike realizes that the way that a lot of people express love isn't the way that Mike might necessarily do it. And sometimes when your soul is so tired and so whatever, to hear someone who has been friends with you for 10, almost 11 years says, you are really precious to me, and here are the ways that manifests itself. Oh, it was such a gift. It was such a gift when I felt very dry and frustrated with myself and overwhelmed because I was running all around. Because I'm doing all these weddings, guys. I have so many weddings coming up. And I love doing them, but they take a lot of work. So
I just want to say, if you're not getting compensated, Sarah, you're entitled to compensation.
I do get compensated. I am gonna have to raise my prices because I'm really not asking for a lot, and then I'm driving all over.
I think at minimum cover your gas, and also if you have to go somewhere to be there late night, cover the hotel. Make sure they're covering your beverages. Make sure, like, they should be paying for all of your accommodations and paying you an honorarium.
Yeah, there's all of that. I am working on all that. And also learning how to be a businesswoman has been really overwhelming for me in my whole body. Like when you're learning all that stuff, right? Like we forget that
Did you know
we're learning new
that
modes.
You can't, so many of these like little business banks won't let you do same day transfers. That is a problem. Oh, yeah. It's a problem. So like I'm currently like hybriding. I got a package in the mail. I think it's
Guys,
gonna come
welcome
back.
to this episode or this section of ADHD brought to you by,
Where we
I
look
got
at
a
our
package in the mail.
yeah, where you look out the window and are instantly distracted. Anyways,
Well, I do have someone climbing in the palm tree next to me. So my dog is really nervous because there's literally someone in the palm tree beside me.
wow, wow, the
Mhm.
magic. Well, if we've done, I feel good. Do you feel good?
I feel like we have named it. We've named what's
Claimed
going on
it.
in the room. We've claimed it. Let's get to some of these pop cultures and headline news. Maybe I'll yell again. You just don't
Yeah,
know.
I hope so. That's really because I feel like I'm the one who yells all the time. So I love it when someone matches my energy.
I mean,
Wait, before we go on, this is my headline news. I want to talk about my Valentine.
oh yes, we didn't even finish that. I just skipped
I,
right by it.
it's totally fine. And I know that this is like silly. I don't think he listens to this podcast. I think he listens to my other podcast. But if you're listening, yeah, I'm talking about you. But this isn't anything I've said to him, not to his face. I haven't said
Okay,
nothing I'm saying here
new
is not
information.
anything I had. Yeah, it's nothing new for him. I'm just recounting what we've done. And if you're ashamed that we went out to the park together, I don't want to be with you anyways. I'm just kidding. Well, no, I wouldn't be kidding, but anyways, so Sunday, Sunday the 13th of February,
The day
we
before Valentine's. I'm doing the
the
color
day before
commentary. Keep
Valentine's
going.
Day, we spend the day delightfully doing some things that put us into the stratosphere of space, if you know what I'm saying.
Wink, wink.
Eating stars, if you will. Wink, wink. But we had a lovely day, tripping around the park and having a good time with one another and enjoying each other's presence. And I just like, it was just so nice and delicious. And then we went and got pizza for dinner at Magic Mushroom, which I think is apropos. Lols. Um, or not at Mellow Mushroom. That's what it's called. Did I say Magic Mushroom?
You did.
Freudian
I
slip.
mean, same.
Whoops. And so we go back to his place. We're just hanging out, and I'm watching him make tea for us. And he looks at me and then like drops stuff, and I was just like, "Do I make you nervous?" And he's just like, "Maybe." And I was like, "Huh."
This I
And because
love this movie.
and so we just kind of I just kept looking at him, and we just and drank some tea and smoked a J, and then sat on the couch and then did like how sometimes like you'll do like the test touch with someone like I
Oh,
really
yeah, I don't even know
enjoyed
I'm doing
hanging
it.
out.
I'll like touch their arm a lot. That's an
I
arm.
always I always like if it's
But I'm
someone I
also a
know, if it's a
toucher.
friend. Yeah. I always ask if I don't know the person, but since I
Same.
had like yeah. We have we have history. We also lived together for a little bit as roommates, and they were roommates. Let me know if you know the reference. Um But like we did the test touch, and he said I really enjoyed my day. I was like, oh my god, I enjoyed my day with you. And then I just kind of was like, am I feeling chemistry sparks, or am I imagining that, or is this actually happening? And he was just he said, I think so. And I was like, huh. And I just kind of sat with that. I'm like, interesting. And then we just sat still like this for a second. And then we sat closer and we did not smooch. And we have yet to smooch, which, if you know, for a whore like me, I'm telling you, like, it was just like, because I'm an intense person. I crave intensity. And he is the most genteel, delightful, taking it in,
I'm here
slow,
for
but
this
not in a
rom-com.
bad way. Oh, but it was so cute and wonderful. And then on Monday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, um,
2022.
yeah, we planned a little. I said like, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" Because we weren't doing anything, and he came over and brought wood, and we made a fire and made marshmallows, and I also made a really fucking delicious dinner. Like,
Ugh,
I'm an amazing cook, so just
you really
like fuck your
are.
mom. And we just had like we cuddled and watched the fire and enjoyed each other's company,
Ugh.
and like, oh, just so sweet and so nice. And of course, like, he's got a life and I've got a life, so it's not like in college where you're just like seeing each other all the time. like, I haven't seen him since like Monday, and I'm like, I don't know. No, we're fine. He actually called me and said, just call to say hey, and I was like, hey,
Oh, okay. You didn't tell me about a
right?
call. A call is a big deal in
A
2022.
slight call, just a very slight call.
A little
So
short, brief.
after we hang up for today, I will also probably call him. You know.
You
Anyways, it
know,
was a sweet, sweet time. I really dig him, and if it goes anywhere, I will let you know.
please let the people know. So
Oh,
the
here's the
wedding
thing. Like the thing about it is like if it does happen, I'm still not going to tell y'all who it is. You know why? Some things need to belong to me, okay?
someone just
And I'm
said,
at a
please pull up Megan's response.
it says I'm so
I'm so
invested in
invested
this.
in this. Everybody put down their beverages and we're like, what is happening? What's gonna happen?
uh,
This has now become a love podcast.
oh my
like a
god.
like a serial podcast about serial dating. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
like who's what was it? Nicole Byers, why won't you date me? Move over. Just kidding. Nicole Byer, do you want to come on our podcast?
oh, that'd be fun.
Could you imagine? We still need a vision board about this. We really need to like figure out how to get people on here more. Also, how many more weeks do you have left in your
I'm done.
class?
I am done.
Oh, okay. Do you think you want to move back to a Thursday night, or was that like
We should get a vote from the crowd.
um? As Nicole, your podcast would be a pure. That's true. Um.
Question for the
Yeah.
poll for the audience, and not just poll for the audience that's live with us right now, but
Mhm.
also for folks who listen to us later. We are trying to figure out when is the best time for us to do this. So we could do it Thursday evenings,
Mhm.
or we can do it Friday afternoons.
Yeah.
What works for y'all?
Yeah. So we'll put it out on like Twitter or something later, like an official
Twitter.
poll.
We'll make a poll.
Yeah, we'll do Twitter and Instagram. Go check us out over there. We'll figure it out together, y'all.
So I have to tell you this because I think it's really cute, and it might just be a little cute addition to what you just shared with us. The wedding I'm doing today, they met each other 7 years ago on February 13th. She was going to an improv show, and on her way was with her friend. She said, I never want to date again. I'm so over
Mm.
boys, blah, 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 blah. Went to the improv show. It was at 11 p.m. That's how you know they're young. 11 p.m.
Improv
They,
shows start way too late. I
I know.
can't.
I cannot. But they went at 11 p.m., although I went to an improv show last week. They went at 11.
Hypocrite. That's why
I know.
people don't like Christians, Sarah.
I know.
Hypocrites. I'm just kidding.
So they did 11 p.m. And so she ended up talking to him. She met this boy. She met her now about to be husband, and realized that the clock had struck midnight and it was Valentine's Day, and he asked her out. And their first date was February 18th, 8 years ago. So today, they're getting married 8 years from their first date. And neither of them thought they were going to ever date again. And then they met each other on February 13th, and they hung out into Valentine's Day. It's like a rom-com.
Sounds fucking gross to me. Boo! I'm just
It's
kidding.
really super cute, actually. Anyway, enough of that jazz. What did I do for Valentine's Day?
Yeah,
I don't
did
think
you
I
do
did
anything for
anything.
Valentine's?
I am
That's it.
currently single.
Ready to mingle. Maybe?
I had been in a complication for a little while. We've taken a step back. So
I was in a complication.
I was
think it's-
seeing someone.
It was
I was
called,
in a
yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
you were in like a little bit of a the beginning exploratory phases of something.
Yes.
You know.
And both of our
Boot up
lives
for a minute.
hit.
You were dating.
I was boot up. That was right. And then we hit a interesting roadblock. But this isn't about me because
This podcast is completely about us. Who else would it be about? You can just say, I don't want to talk about that. That's a more accurate statement.
yes. He's a
Say,
fantastic human.
It's called we don't name names on the main, you know?
We don't name names on the main.
Unless I've already named you. I've already called your shit out on the internet. That's why I'll put Matthew. That's why I'm happy to name Matthew Vines as public enemy number one for me. What? Just kidding. Not public enemy number one. Just somebody who I have a beef with.
You
Anyways,
make
speaking
me
of
laugh.
public beef, let's talk about pop culture and headline news and the beef that we all have with one megachurch, namely Hillsong.
Oof.
If you don't know, Hillsong is a ginormous megachurch started in Australia. They're super charismatic Pentecostal, white colonizer to the core, and have been involved with a number of scandals over the past, decade or beyond. And coming
Mhm.
up soon, I believe it's the end of middle of March. There is a docu-series being coming out in a 3-part mini short series, docu-series. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
docu-series.
docuseries.
A 3-episode docu-series called Hillsong: A Megachurch Exposed. It's going to be on Discovery Plus.
Yeah. Guys, our
Mm.
friend Janice, who has a great podcast called God Has Not Given, right? That's
Janice Legata. She's also going to be on A Tiny Revolution next week.
just a hilarious human. Does a breakdown
Fucking
of
funny as shit.
uh
So good. So good.
she has this thing that I love, which is I love a subtle joke. I love a subtle, like I love a little says a sentence and you have to like rethink, like, did I just hear what I thought I heard?
That's
So
called
funny.
shade. She is the queen. Because
Uh,
it's like I don't have to tell you you're an idiot because you know you are. That's shade.
her description of the wrong use of the word black from Hillsong is one of the funniest videos I've watched. And it is not like to tear people down. It is really just to help people get to a better version and to like ask the big questions. So
Yeah.
so
So
good. So Hillsong,
and
uh,
yeah,
great
I'm reading
music,
from
good looking guys.
well, let's good music. I mean, I
I don't
think
know.
we can say emotionally strong music.
Yes.
But the thing about it is just like some of them I'll listen to stuff and I'll still love it, but like from a completely queer perspective, like there's one called We Dance that I think one of the Hillsong
Mm.
artists did. But like me singing it, I'm just like that's like the faggiest thing I've ever done. To sing about
I
me and
don't
God, to sing about God and me dancing, that's so gay, and I love it.
They weren't the ones who had "Will you dance with me, Jesus?" That wasn't them.
Oh, are you talking about Casting Crowns?
I don't know. I'm a
I can only
mainliner.
imagine.
That's the
I
one.
can. Oh,
I
gross.
did a
Okay,
lesbian wedding where they walked down the aisle to that,
no,
sung by men from the
no.
LA Gay Men's Chorus, and it was just like my brain was like, I cannot compute, I cannot compute, I cannot compute.
Oh wait, yeah, it is Mercy Me. Shane's right. It was
Mercy me.
Mercy Me.
Yeah, it was like the
No.
gay men's chorus singing. I can only imagine as a beautiful lesbian couple walked down the aisle, and my
I
brain was like,
mean,
"What is
there's nothing.
happening?"
There is truly nothing queerer than that, but also it is like get out. Just
Mercy me. I mean, that wedding was the best wedding because I'm like, this is the most Christian wedding I've ever done. Like,
let me tell you
and
what.
I've done a
There
lot of weddings.
the most devout people on the earth are homosexual Christians.
Yeah.
Like without a doubt, like let me tell you what. I was
Let me
talking to
tell you.
somebody I was talking to somebody on the phone the other day. I was like, yeah, it's just like I'm a gay man with an incurable disease. It's called Christianity, and I don't know what to do with it.
Oh dear. Can we aren't that far out of the AIDS epidemic for you to
Mm.
say I have an incurable disease. Like,
And
yeah,
that's why it's funny because I'm
yeah,
gay. I can say that.
no, yeah, absolutely. But my brain is like, oh,
It's
which,
called
guys, we do need to talk about that. We didn't have it on our list of things, but the
ready.
first
Bring it.
person to be treated and completely cured of HIV was this week.
Not the first person, just the first woman.
Woman, sorry, first woman. Yeah,
It's all good. Two men,
two men. Yes, sorry.
2 men before have also been cured of HIV, and also right now they are they have the trials for a shot in the arm HIV vaccine.
Oh, guys.
Can you imagine if
Yeah.
everyone could get an HIV
Can you only
vaccine?
imagine?
That was good. That was good, Sarah. I'm not
Sorry.
gonna. No, I'm not. It was horrible, but it was very funny. It was very funny.
Yeah, I think there's this incredible thing that we're standing on the threshold of. It's funny because I read I read the news, and my friends on the East Coast catch me because they'll be like, "Are you up right now?" And it'll be 4 a.m. our time. And I was sharing this last night as I was hanging out with Mike and Jenny. I was like, "Yeah, I've been getting up at 4, but I just like find if I read the news." And Mike goes, "Can you say that sentence again as we've been talking about your anxiety levels? Sarah, you're not
Yeah, dude.
sleeping and you're reading the news." But the other day, it was one of those days where I was reading all this stuff that was like,
Real quick, before we scroll past that, I just want to make sure I hear that you understand that your consumption is contributing to your anxiety, and you're probably
yes.
going to do something about it, right?
Oh no, already done something about it. Because
Okay, good. I'm
after
like, dude,
after I
don't
said that to them, after I said that to them last night, I was like, I love it because my friends will just look at me. So I was like, "Yeah, I've been getting up at 4 a.m., but then I just read the news." And they're like, "No, what? No, no, no." So I said,
Oh no.
but the other day when I read that HIV thing, sorry, my camera on or my light on my went out, and I'm not sure why. Anyway, they said, I was saying to them, I read positive news after positive news after positive news. So it was the HIV thing. And then, of course, I started reading about the Ukraine and Russia, and we don't have to go into that. It's very scary. Today is a very scary day. We're all just waiting for that. Lots of feelings.
At this point, I'm just like, that's how we deal. That was me sipping wine. If you are just listening to that on the podcast, I was like, what was that nasty ass ASMR sound?
I love that one of our please, by the way, rate and review. One of our reviews was like, sometimes I can't handle Kevin's ASMR. And sometimes I love it.
Oh my god!
Like they gave us like a 5. They gave us like a 5. They're like, I love this show. I love this show. It's so great. Sometimes I can't handle Kevin's ASMR, and sometimes something like that. I was like, okay.
Okay, we need to go look at some of our reviews. Apple Podcasts.
Oh yeah, some of them are fun.
Fave. Yes. Let's review these together right now. Let's find out how we're doing.
Oh my gosh.
Here we are. We've only got 17 ratings. Friends, I don't know what you're doing right now, but could you do us a favor?
Go rate.
Would you go?
Review. Hot or not. Swipe right.
.com. I don't want to open it up in the iTunes store. No. This is ruining my life.
Willie says, I was in a complication. Nasty ass ASMR. The show is full of great phrases. Keep them coming.
That's my friend Brian Weeb. Yeah, that's true. Transparent. Oh, fuck. Okay, so like when I went on my men's retreat, we ate some stars and we were among the stars. They didn't even have that much either. Like, and they had a great time. Anyways, they were trying to like. So, do you know what panpsychism is? Panpsychism is
because we know what I thought pansexualism. So I'm doing great.
Yeah, no.
By the way, pansexualism is not a term. Pansexual is.
Lesbianism, transgenderism. Anyways, it was like I still don't think I get what it is. Like panpsychism, like it was like so panpsychism is the idea and understanding that every single bit of matter in the universe, both seen and unseen, contains an intelligence of the divine. Or just an intelligence of some kind.
Yes.
And is all choosing and working together in some way in order to create this universe that we reality. And then I think it was something about, and everything's moving towards love. And I'm just like, we don't know what that means. Do you mean oneness? Maybe. Like it's anything that says like everything is doing something. I'm just like, can't say. Don't know.
The great mystery.
I mean, that's where I'm at. I'm just like, I can't tell you about the future. I can only tell you about right now.
Except
Future's
you
a
have in
mystery.
people's dreams. But we
Well, that
talked
is
about that
because
last week.
if you missed the part where my powers of a psychic as a psychic witch told my friend
Justin.
Justin in his dreams about the new podcast that he would start with Sarah,
When
then
none
go
of
back
us
and
knew each
listen.
other. Well, you and I knew each other, but he didn't know either of us at this time.
I know.
This is
So
just
all that to
creepy.
say, it's I've also had somebody else say, it's like, you were in my dreams last night and you were just very comforting. I'm just like, I'm so glad. Glad I could be there for you like that. Maybe. Um
Eh.
Everything is moving towards the heat death of the universe. That's for sure. Anyways, continuing on with our hot topics and pop culture things. What else we have to discuss today?
Oh, this is important.
What is it?
Well, I think it's important. The idea that this one Catholic guy, that's not what he was, Catholic priest,
Catholic priest. He was a priest.
yeah, got all of his baptisms that not counted because instead of baptizing this child in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, you would say I, they said we,
Mm. We baptize
and
you
they're
instead
saying
of
they
I
don't
baptize
work,
you.
guys.
And when I tell you, maybe it's Mason said this too, and a couple other people, maybe it's the Protestant in me, but that is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's actually really poor theology because even within Catholicism, well, no, within Catholicism, within that narrative, the priest is uh
Is the
almost
stand-in
the
for Christ.
right, and so it's the I. It's very
Hmm.
strange for me because I really believe it is a communal experience
Hmm.
when we do baptism together. Same with a wedding. If you have ever been at a wedding, I officiate. I always have a time in it that has a moment for the couple, like to obviously say their declarations of intention. So that's the I do part. But then I also have a moment where everyone who is there does the same thing.
Hmm.
Mhm.
That's what I do in my weddings too.
Like the we
It's
do
like,
part. We promise to be a resource to you because if I have you there, then obviously I want you to be part of this thing.
mm,
So it's weird
yeah.
to me that weddings would be considered, you know?
Hmm. And that I just like it's your baptism is invalid.
It's
I'm
that's
I'm
weird.
just saying, like, even at like a not even a close reading of the text, I'm like, baptism wasn't always a thing that happened when people encountered Jesus, even in the Bible. The
Mhm.
woman at the well, she didn't get baptized. You know,
Mm-mm.
the what was his name? Who came in the middle of the night? He was a Pharisee. What was his name?
Nicodemus?
Nicodemus. Did I don't remember if he got baptized. I don't think he did. I think he had that encounter with Jesus, and he said, "Unless you are born of the Spirit, of water and of Spirit," which means like you are birthed from your mother, and then you're birthed within your own consciousness.
This
And
idea that
people
there
take that,
are
and they take it to mean the submersion of baptism. That's not what Jesus is talking about.
we
Ugh.
have such different things about baptism. You know, I knew a guy in seminary who his home church rebaptized someone because their finger was out of the baptismal font, and the belief was their finger would not be saved if it wasn't a full immersion. I mean, that's what we're talking
I
about,
mean,
guys. Like
work.
this legalism from something that was meant to just be a symbolic of an internal is so different. Someone just wrote Zacchaeus wasn't baptized. And if you're not a Christian
Zacchaeus
and
wasn't baptized. He just repented. That's it.
right, I think there
I'm gonna send your
there
fingers to hell.
there is all of this space to be made and talk about what does baptism mean. But I find it interesting that all this freedom that is being declared within this, even this idea of baptism is then being like negated by, but do it the right way. Like it's so funny how we as humans and we as people put brackets around this thing that's meant to be a divine mystery and we
Mhm.
say it has to be done this way, said this thing. There was no rite of baptism when John the Baptist, if you believe in that story, was
I
happening.
know.
There was
But
no
he
like
was just out
magic
there
words,
wiling out.
probably saying weird shit because he was like eating honey and just being like a weird ass.
Like he was sort of just like he was saying weird shit. He said there's gonna be one that comes to baptize you with fire. Like,
Are we doing that? We better
I
not
mean,
do
not
that.
yet.
Um, listen, can you pull up M's comment here? My partner
Mhm.
grew up in Grace Brethren churches and they got real salty if you didn't dunk someone in full immersion 3 times, right? Otherwise,
Whoa.
they're only, they're only half or one
You
third.
gotta baptize them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost. Okay?
And I think something that was said really earlier, and I think it was Willie who said it, and it's really important what Willie said is that there are a lot of accusations against the Catholic Church, and it is
Mhm.
really traumatizing for folks that instead of addressing that, we're addressing, whether someone used the right word or not. By the way, this is not new. This is my
Mm.
body,
Mm.
is the statement said in communion, and wars have been fought, people have been killed, inquisitions happen just over how we translate the word is. This is my body. So I am not surprised that we're at a place where we're talking about I baptize you, we baptize you in the name, guys.
And you know what Thecla said when Paul wouldn't even baptize her, even though she was faithful, even though she gave up everything to follow after the mystery of Christ, when she was in the fucking stadium being about to be slaughtered by animals, and yet the lioness protected her? You know what she
Mm.
said? On this day, I baptize myself in the name of Jesus Christ, and threw herself into the water. And when she did, the story goes that there was a flash of lightning, and all of the walruses that were residing in the water to eat the people who tried to flee into the water floated up to the surface dead.
And they sang, I am the walrus. That's what that song's about. No.
Exactly. 100%.
um
100%.
Also, guys, if
Ugh.
you're not watching this live, the conversations happening in the chat are worth the price of admission. It's so good.
Absolutely. And you know what? The price of admission, it is $0. Like, this
Dollars.
was just so lovely. And so what I would like to say is that if this has been helpful for you, I'd like you to do one of two things. Is your Patreon up yet? Do you have it yet?
No, no, we're
Not
working on it.
yet. It's coming soon. But if you want to, send us a Venmo, Cash App, V. Kevin Garcia, Rev Sarah Heath, I think, right?
It's Sarah Heath 5. It's weird.
Sarah Heath 5 on Venmo. That's always a sweet treat. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe, you can send this to somebody who needs to take a load off, needs to lulls, needs
I'm
to.
excited. We are going to be doing, you and I will talk offline. I did a lot of research about how we're going to create community around Recovery, but we will be launching a
Mm,
Patreon.
boosh. I'm so excited. Also, please go. This is our self promotion corner, I suppose. Go
Ah,
listen to Recovery. Go listen to A Tiny Revolution. I should have edited it today. And I would have edited it today, but then we had to move up our call, and now
because of the
I'm
wedding.
I'm buzzed, and I can't get work done now. It's
Oh,
Friday,
I love that for you. I'm not
so
even.
it'll new episode tomorrow of A Tiny Revolution. It's back,
Woo!
and we're also posting all the videos out there. And I want you to come join the crowded table, which I've already talked about earlier.
Um, can we? I want us to talk about one of our listeners sent a really meaningful question, and I kind of want
Yes,
to
let's
save
get to
it,
it.
but it's so good, and it is completely a veer. But I feel like
Let's veer.
because I
Okay,
know we've been talking about
pivot.
love, we've been talking about baptisms, we've been talking about this, but it was such an important and profound question. A bunch of people sent us questions today, but I thought this one just hit
Bring
me.
it.
How do you navigate grief and fear of death, post evangelical and even post religion?
Okay, can I tell you that Em and I were talking about this earlier today? It's on the top of the mind.
Okay.
Mm.
So how
So
do you
say it one more
navigate
time. Let's read
so
the
how
question
do
one
you
more time.
navigate grief? And this is grief after loss. How do you
Hmm.
navigate grief and fear of death, post evangelical and even post religion?
Hmm. Hmm.
because I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Uh, yeah, just through friends who are going through some pretty heavy grief things. And the things that I used to say aren't enough in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And for a very long time, I haven't been someone who says they're in a better place or blah, 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 blah. That's not, and so I have navigated grief by actually getting into it in a way that I used to, I would say I would try to sidestep it.
Mm-hmm.
I would try to like get to the happy, clappy part
Mm-hmm.
as soon as I could. But I want to honor this question today. I know I know I took a hard right, but I
Mm-hmm.
felt like it was this sounds to me like a question this person needs answered because they're grieving right
Mm-hmm.
now. And so
Yeah.
I always want to address that. I think being present to my feelings and present to the feelings of others in grief right now has been really key for me as someone who, for me, yeah, not being flippant about it, not and with my own emotions. We talked about that at the start of the show, how it's very
Mm-hmm.
easy for me to bypass my own emotions. It's very easy for me to like get to well, what's the good part of all of this? But it doesn't really allow me to sit with it when we are in grief.
Mm-hmm.
We need to address it. We need to look at it. And I feel like Jesus, I know, taught a lot about that for me. And even the way that the story of Lazarus, knowing you could still raise him, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still a painful thing.
Did he know? He didn't know. I don't think he knew.
Okay.
Like, because like that's what I think about. It's like Jesus didn't know if he could do that. Maybe
You're
it didn't
right.
even
You're right. You're right.
maybe it didn't even occur to him.
Right.
You know, people think Jesus was omnipotent. I'm not sure. Um, more like it's just like if you pay attention, you can see what's going on.
Right.
That's what he. Um, I would say start off with well, how did I manage grief before? What was I
Right.
doing? Answer: I wasn't. I wasn't
Mm,
dealing with my grief.
I
I
was
wasn't
bypassing
feeling
it.
it. Exactly. I was figuring out um not what am I going to do to feel better? What am I going to do to ignore myself? What am I going
Mm,
to do to continue to function? Grief demands that you cease functioning in the way that you do now or like in a normal schedule and to just stop for a minute. Something hard has happened. The body is in trauma, in
mm.
shock, and I have to slow down. Like, and I have to like be as sad as I am. I was like I don't want to hear any terrible thing. I don't want to hear any good things. I want it to feel as terrible as it is, because that's the thing. This hurts so fucking bad, and
I
that's where
think
you
we
start.
I think when we say feel better, we often listen to the better part and not the feel. So if you
Hmm.
want to feel better, it's going to require that you first feel.
Yeah, you got.
So
Ooh, that's
we
camp
say
on that.
I want to feel better. Better even if we look at like the word, because you guys know I love etymology. If we look at the word, what we're really seeing in this word is like better is fully. So I want to feel holistically. I want to feel better. I want to
Hmm.
feel better. And we often just get to the better part when
Yeah.
there is work to be done in the feeling part. And so,
Hmm.
um, M wrote, the emotion I
Ooh.
feel most comfortable with is anger, but you're feeling something, M. You're feeling something.
Hmm.
You're not just going to, this is okay.
Hmm.
And guys, if you need to go to they're in a better place now right away because that's what you need to do, that's okay. It's
Hmm.
okay to give yourself like my friend's mom who and friend of mine passed away after like just the shittiest struggle with
Hmm.
cancer. And as I deal with my own potential in these things, I think about how
Hmm.
just it's a shitty hand. It's a shitty
Yeah.
hand. And she needed to acknowledge that it was crappy, but that her mom was done suffering. So when she
Mm.
would hear she's in a better place, she heard that as she's experiencing it She's experiencing whatever's happening. It's not what it was, which was suffering and hard and terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have to let people be where they are. But for
Yeah.
our own selves, it's just getting
Getting very,
honest.
and it's when I said something my friend RV says is that a lot of times it's just like, it was, I don't know how I feel because like my attention, my energy is just being pulled in all of these different directions. And the thing is, you need to land. You got to land and figure out what you're actually feeling so that you can go to figure out, how do I take care of this body right now? I'm feeling so sad right now. I'm feeling so depressed right now. I'm feeling so angry right now. What do I need to do? I need to talk to somebody about this. So I'm going to go, I need to get in a bath. I need to smoke a J. I need to go take a walk around the block. I need to like sit with my dog. I need to eat something. I need to go take my meds. You know, I need to call an emergency line therapist. You know, like whatever it is, that's the next step. How do you navigate grief? It's what
You
stop
go
this.
in.
This is going to sound so stupid. Stop thinking in the long term.
Be
Don't think about,
here.
and that because the grief is only ever here.
Mm.
That's the thing. It's just like we're thinking of just like, oh my God, this is going to last forever. Okay, that might be true. How are you going to take care of yourself? Because the truth is just like, like this is what I'll say is like I have to for myself say, I know that this is painful and I am suffering right now, and I allow myself to feel this, and I know this is not going to last forever. That's it.
I love what Brian said in this. Brian Webb said, when we feel better, when we say feel better, we're also applying a value assessment to a bad feeling. Everything you're saying right now relates to this, Kevin. Grief isn't a bad emotion. It's an emotion.
It
We
just
have
is.
to give, we have to give permission to experience the not fun, not bad emotions, right? I think there is a lot of value judgment on this is allowed in, this is not allowed in. And if you grew up in an evangelical setting, which is where the original question came from, any emotion that didn't fit in this is victory, the cross has overcome, we are killing it.
I'm bathed in his blood.
Everything is good and happy. The product that we're selling will make you feel good. If that's what we've come from, it makes sense why these things feel bad, because it's outside of, even when we talk about the word, they are abomination. I can never say that word.
Abomination.
Thank you. What that word means really just means outside of the normal, outside of the accepted norm or understood norm, not accepted. There was no, within the Hebrew, as I've talked to a couple of Hebrew scholars, there wasn't a judgment within that. When we talk about abomination, there is no judgment in the word abomination, because all it means
It's just
outside
keep
of.
going.
It's outside of. Now,
this I did not know. This is new information for me.
Yeah. So outside of Judaic culture, to be outside of the norm
was to be an abomination,
was to be hard and to be unaccepted, right? So we didn't want to be outside of so abomination felt bad because it meant outside of the norm, outside of my tribe, outside of my tribalism. Yeah. And so when we start doing these things, we feel this judgment on it, because we come from generations upon generations and generations upon generations who have seen anything outside of as bad, versus seeing it as maybe a movement or a shift into something new. And there's always going to be, when we experience anything new, our thalamus, our brain, everything goes such a nerd.
Our thalamus
goes into a fight or flight, right? Like, what do I do with this? This is new information. This is a new feeling. So I want to put a value judgment on it. And what Brian has said, I think, is really helpful, is how do we accept that this feels new and that's okay? Transcend and include. And
and even if it's not okay, even if it's new and it's not okay, guess what? It doesn't have to be. It simply is. You got to figure out how you're going to take care of yourself.
And
that's it.
I will say for the person who asked us this question, asking people around you who you feel like have figured out how to navigate grief in a way that feels holistic and inclusive, and just say, hey, what did it look like for you? Because I'm trying to learn new practices, and the only ones I've ever been given were to gaslight my own emotions, and I want to try something different. Both Kevin and I are very about body practice. And so really paying attention to our bodies when we are in. It's so funny because I don't know what's happened in my life, Kevin, but like even yesterday when I had left the doctor's office, I had I had an emotional reaction that I wasn't expecting.
Nice.
And I sat in the car and I heard your voice. That's what made me laugh. Your voice in my head was saying, how can you be nice to yourself today? What would being nice to yourself look like today? So I went to Starbucks and I got my favorite, and everyone can make fun of me for it being Starbucks, but I love a Starbucks cold brew. I got a Starbucks cold brew. I slowed down. I called my friend because in my body, I needed to feel like I was safe and I was okay. We have got to learn how to figure out what those practices are for ourselves. And anyone who tells you they can tell you what they are for you is unfortunately lying to you or trying to sell you something.
I have one practical tip to give.
I love this. This is what ants do. Go.
Yes. Create a grief altar. That looks like get a picture of your beloved dead. Put it in a nice frame. Don't just put it in a nice frame or something. Put it somewhere that you're going to see it. Don't put it in a place that you're not going to look at it. You need to see it. Get something that they liked to drink or just like a glass of water, and then write a letter to them, and then sit down and read it to them, and then talk to them and see what happens. Just be quiet for a while. And maybe you'll feel nothing. I don't know. Maybe you will sob your eyes out about how much you miss them, and then just listen and like ask them to like, hey, like, what would it like? What would it be like to imagine that they're still with you and that they're holding you while you're sad? Because they are, if you want them to. So, and the reason I say put it in a place where you can see it is because you need to, if the more often you grieve, the faster you'll get it done. The more often you give space for that emotion to flow out, the easier it is to just let it go. Because a lot of times it shows up in the body as like, I don't know how to do this. But the more often it comes in, it's going to be, oh, I know how to do this.
I know what this is.
Also, yes, Shane Deal. I just want to say, Steven Universe is if you wanna deal with some emotions.
What that is.
It is the greatest cartoon ever created. It's by Rebecca Sugar. I have a fantasy about doing a nerd podcast called the Gospel According to, the Gospel According to, and then just like do a whole bunch of stuff like the Gospel According to Steven Universe, the Gospel According to Star Trek, the Gospel According to Lord of the Rings, and just really fucking nerd out about some shit.
Yeah, I love that. It's like we both are mega nerds. It's just, my nerddom is different.
Yeah, and I'm really just ready to expand into the universe of all of my creative potential.
Guys, this has been fantastic. I feel better. I feel more. So feeling better sometimes means feeling more. I feel better after having spent this time with you. Wish me luck. Wish blessings, mazel tov, upon this couple getting married this afternoon, evening. Oh, the baby is here. My baby needs to go for a walk, Tenor Bear. Look at. If you are only listening to us, you're missing out on the fact that he's showing his baby boy. She's showing
his trippy Bobby.
They are just so in trip. Yeah, this is a sweet baby. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. We've got a couple things to promote. The first thing is that I am finally done with my coaching credential as far as the coursework. So now I'm hiring new clients because I've got space in my schedule to do that. So if you're interested in learning more about that, shoot me an email at Rev.
That's not how it works.
What'd you say?
You can't. That's not how it works. Hiring new clients, talking to possible new clients.
Loading
people
on,
on
I don't know.
Talking to possible new clients.
Yeah, I'm taking on new clients is all I'm saying. So if you're interested in figuring out what it looks like to move from here to there, as far as by the way, I met with a coach who's a brand new baby coach, and they're doing a thing. I'm accepting new clients. Thank you. Called From Here to There. And that's kind of what all of my work is all about, transitional coaching from one thing to the next, whatever that might look like, whether you're leaving ministry, whether you're starting a new business, whatever it might be. I am here for you in that. And I am accepting new clients for the first time in a while. So I'm excited about that. So if you want more information, I'm adopting new clients. Thank you, Brian. So if you're interested in that, revsarahheath@gmail.com. Hopefully this weekend we are redoing part of the website so that there will be a form that you can do. That would be great. Also listen to the Rev Recovery podcast. We are going to be forming a new community around that. So look out for more information on that. Kevin, please tell us about the merchandise, the crowded table, and then get to your weekend and potentially talking to your boo. Go.
Let us see. I almost said let us pray.
Let us pray.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you.
Yes, have it.
Sorry to trigger everybody. Please, if you're not a part of my online community, it's called The Crowded Table, the spiritual community for heretics and doubt-filled believers of all stripes or non-believers. Like, we really don't care. If you are someone who's like, I'm deconstructing and I'm looking for a place to land or to ask questions or get to know new people, you can go to thecrowdedtable.mn.co. That's marynancy.co. Links in the Bible. In the bio. Links in the Bible.
I mean, we get it.
I don't know why that got me so bad. That was funny. Other thing, mark your calendars. April 2nd in Atlanta, we're doing a crowded table one day live event as an experiment to see if we might do this other places. Kind of like a little bit what we did with Wonderfully Made, except for expanded into a full day event. Tickets are going on sale next week, so please do that. And if you want to join us digitally, just go join the crowded table because that's where we're going to stream it. And it's not going to be available anywhere else. Ho!
We are so glad you're with us. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Feel better. Be present to yourself. What else do you want to say?
Take your meds, call your person, shake your ass a little bit. Make sure you read a nice book. Go buy our books. Available on everywhere. I've got them this is what happens. I drink one glass of wine. This is how much of a lightweight I am these days. It's hard.
I know. Neither
All
of
right.
us are drinking much. Have a
Big
great day.
love,
We
everyone.
love you.
Happy Saturday, Sunday, Friday, bye.
Monday, whatever day of the week it is.
Monday,
We love you.
Wednesday.